What's up, Mob Crew? I'm Chris. In today's video, I go over some of the biggest unanswered questions in the Brian and Gabby case. This is part 2, 5 questions that I answer in today's video. Also, today's missing person case is Trinity Hurt. She was last seen in Kenton, Ohio. She'll be featured at the end of my video, so please stay until the end for that. Thank you so much. Welcome back to the channel, everybody, where we cover murder, mystery, to the paranormal. So before I start, I have noticed some other channels doing the same thing, but I've noticed some of the questions are ones that you can't answer, like, how did Brian die? And I just want you to know that the questions I have can actually be answered. So question 5 and 4. Did Brian Laundrie actually leave to empty a storage unit? Didn't Brian and Gabby have a condo? So you guys asked this question the most in some form or another after my first video, and I want you all to know that I listen to you and respect all of your ideas and comments. I understand everybody has different ideas of what may have happened, but as long as you leave respectful comments, I will read them. So according to Rose Davis, Gabby's best friend, she said that the couple did not live with Brian's parents, but they had a condo that Brian's parents paid for. Now, I will leave this up for a second and explain the exact details are not verified at this time, and it would take a whole video on why just to explain that. But I will say that after Rose made that TikTok video, she got in a lot of trouble by the FBI for sharing these details because this is still an open investigation. So back to the first part of the question, did Brian actually leave from the 17th through the 23rd of August to empty a storage unit? And the source I'm using is the lawyer, Steve Bertolino. And yes, he said that in a text that this is what Brian was doing between those dates mentioned to empty a storage unit to save money. And so my theory would be that they did have a condo, but before they left to go on their trip, they moved out, and so they put their furniture and stuff into a storage unit. And then in the middle of the trip, Brian came back for 6 days to move that stuff into his parents' garage. And there were reports when the media was there that when the garage was open, it was really full. And that is why all the vehicles are parked outside and not in the garage at the parents' residence. Question 3. So what did Gabby do during the 17th through the 23rd of August while Brian was in Florida? Well, we don't know a lot, but I think I may know why. So after visiting areas down south around Moab, Utah, the couple would have probably drove up on the 16th or more likely the 17th of August, and Gabby would check into the Fairfield Inn in downtown Salt Lake City, Utah on the 17th, which is just 10 minutes away from the Salt Lake City International Airport. And that red little circle at the bottom is actually where I used to live in Salt Lake City, Utah. So considering that there has been 0 witnesses from that area that have come forward while she was missing, I would theorize that she probably just relaxed at the hotel for those 6 days and worked on her social media. And I know she had contact with her mother at least once while she was there, and they do have an indoor pool and hot tub, and she probably just relaxed for those 6 days. Question 2. When was Gabby actually murdered? So we know that Gabby was seen for the last time around 1 to 2:30 on August 27th, just as they were leaving their Mary Piglets in Jackson, Wyoming. The last time the van was seen was at approximately 5:30 to 6 when YouTubers Red, White, and Bethune drove past the van on Spread Creek Road in the Grand Teton Valley. Now, considering that when approaching the van, you clearly see Gabby's van back door open, and as the YouTubers approach, you can see the van's door close, but you never see anybody as they drive past it. But it clearly means that at least one person was in that van at the time. So considering where her body was found and what her stepdad had claimed, he said that there was a spot that looked like there had been a tent, and a place where there was rocks that could have made a fire pit. Going off that and what the coroner said, about 3 to 4 weeks since the remains were recovered would have put her murder either on the 27th or the 28th. My theory would be that they argued the rest of the day after the Mary Piglets incident. They stopped at the Spread Creek area. Gabby stayed in the back of the van, kicked off her sandals outside the van, while Brian took the supplies and went to go set up the tent over by the creek bed. This would be around when the YouTubers Red, White, and Bethune came by, and so it would be Gabby that shut the van door. Brian came back. They continued arguing. They went over to the tent in the bed creek. At this time, it would be nighttime, and this is when he would have murdered her during the night of the 27th, since it would be dark out and he would not have to worry about any witnesses. Question 1. How did Brian's parents find the belongings in just under an hour when the local law enforcement couldn't find anything after a whole month? So I have a video where I break that all down. If you haven't seen it, here is the link. Check it out after this video. So after doing some research of old aerial footage of where the authorities started their search and where they set up their mobile command center, I mark on the map with a red circle where they set up their command, and the red pin as where Brian parked his Mustang. And if we measure the pin from the car to the command center that's circled, it is approximately 6 miles away. And during most of that time, the authorities were searching the preserve. They were nowhere close to where the remains were found. Soon after they reopened the park, Brian's parents, through their lawyer, claimed they wanted to help find their son. So Brian's parents went to the park early in the morning with the authorities. Brian's father, Chris, knew the trail that Brian and him used to frequent, which is called the Livelong Trail, which starts right by where the Mustang was parked. And starting at the beginning of the trail, the parents began walking, and after walking a little bit further, Chris beelined it into some bushes and discovered the dry bag with the notebook and something else that we are not sure of at this time. So according to the lawyer's interview, the reason the parents found something so quick was because they just started at the beginning, hinting that the authorities didn't find anything because they were further deep into the preserve. So that does it for today's video. Please let me know in the comments if I have helped answer some of your questions, and if you would like me to do a part 3. Please smash that like button and subscribe. Hit that bell and turn on notifications. If you want to support my channel, please consider becoming a member or by donating to one of the links in the description. Today's missing person case is Trinity Hurt. She was last seen in Kenton, Ohio. She is 7 years old, brown hair and brown eyes, wearing a pink and purple pajamas. Please take a close look. Please take care of yourself and be sure to tell someone you love them. Thank you all.